Questions, please. Yeah.
Thank you. It's really impressive, the scale you reach with the programs. After all, it's also a very big city. My question is, how can the program influence urban design, urban infrastructure, construction codes, the environment, rather than taking the environment? I took it, you take the environment and nature in LA as a given. Wouldn't you have a powerful capability to make it more biosensitive and nature sensitive in urban design?
Yes, in fact, we are part of a broad network in the region. There are 10 million people in Los Angeles County, so there are a lot of folks that are interested in sustainable development and thinking about green spaces, because the research shows that people are healthier and happier if they're living close to green space. So we are part of a network looking at ways to target certain areas of the city and to manage those with plantings that will encourage pollinators, and working with landscape architects, universities that are doing this work. So yes, we're translating that to an understanding of how to develop green space in the community to encourage biodiversity. And as we were talking at break, I think one of the things that we have found, and maybe you all know this, the research shows that if we talk about the crisis of biodiversity or the climate crisis, people will shut down. So our view has been engage them in the work, show them that this can have positive outcomes, and they're much more inclined to be engaged in it. And so we are working across a network to make that kind of positive impact on the development of Southern California.
I want to know if you have some study about the forest of the Mississippi, because you speak about California, but the other part, the Mississippi, I just come from Louisiana, and it's incredible. The forest, the river, and the other river near, so it's like the Amazonia. We are very interested with Amazonia, but the Mississippi is really very important. Thank you.
Our scientists, I don't know if they've done any work in the Mississippi or in the Louisiana region, but this has really been focused on our particular locality. And it is unique because it is so large. We do have a river, not as big as the Mississippi, and it's dry a lot of the time, except this year with quite a lot of rainfall. But Los Angeles was built on a floodplain, and it has flooded dramatically over its history. So there are some similarities in that way, but that's about it.
Congratulations, fantastic. I think this is an example that could be replicated in many parts of the world. And my question to you, and I'm immediately thinking of doing something similar to this in the very middle of the Amazon, because cellular phones are now becoming available there as well. And it's a wonderful way of attracting the interest of young people if you use technology. I think that's the catch that you have there. My question to you is that have you done any exchange with this experience with other institutions?
Our urban nature research team and our community science director, Leela Higgins, are very connected around the world. And I think that is how we went from 2 cities in the City Nature Challenge to almost 160 this year. So they are part of the network, and I am sure that they have colleagues in your area.
Having in mind that there are some people around having easy solutions, do you have a strategy when you get approached you have nice findings. You even found 27 new species. So why do you always overreact that biodiversity is in danger? Is this something what you what you communicate also, or can you do something about it?
So if I understand you, you're asking whether or not we run the risk of having people say, what's the problem? You've got 47 new species of forward flies. And our scientists have considered that might be part of, the backside of it. If you see it, we see the biodiversity crisis. We don't want people to think it doesn't exist. But we believe that in the urban environment, our community, most of the people that live in that community don't even think about nature, period. In the region around my museum, which is not even 10 miles from the beach, the people that live there have never been to the beach, many of them. They don't know what's out there. So for us, in order to get them to think about the fact that there are issues with biodiversity, they have to appreciate that they live with nature. So we've taken that strategy, and we feel like that is the best way for us to engage our community, and they don't see nature as other, someplace wild. That is one thing that is true in the US. When you ask people what nature is, they will say it's wilderness. It's someplace no one's ever been. And we have to change the way people see nature in order for them to have it be relevant to them. It has to reach them in the heart. So that's my answer to that one.